Hello again, this is Robert Veach here. This is my video review of the BenQ HT3550. This is the true 4K home theater projector that will actually project images that are at 3840 by 2160 progressive at 60 frames per second. It's hard to get this unit. It's in high demand right now, but I finally got my hands on one to test, and I'm rebuilding my home theater, upgrading it to 4K. So this is going to be the projector that I'm using. Now this does support HDR10, HLG. It has 2000 lumens, has a 95% DCI-P3 and 100% REC 709 color wheel, which if you look all these things up, it means that this supports 8.3 million pixels of color. These other things, the DCI-P3, you can look them up. It all talks about the color accuracy. This is a short throw lens on here. We're going to show that. So in my theater, I have a 100-inch diagonal screen. So this will work from about 8.2 feet away to 10.6 feet away. This is also 3D compatible, and it has a lens shift on there, and we're going to test all these out because a lot of the specs are not accurate on this yet because it's so new, and when I contact tech support, I'm getting different answers. So I set up a jig in my house here to hold this upside down, and we're going to measure some of the things like the offset and whatever controls that we have right here. So there's your wheel right there to adjust the focus, and hopefully the lens shift and the zoom should all be on there too. And in the front of the unit, it has your infrared sensor there, and then there's the lens. I'm not sure how this pops out or what this does, but right now it looks like it's blocking the lens. I'm not sure what that does. Here's your controls on the top, which should be mimicked in the remote. And I'm going to show you the back because it's hard to get good pictures online on the back of this projector because it's that new. So I'm going to really show you what's going on here. You got the power right there. 12 volt trigger, RS-232, a service port, a media reader, USB, I do updates also, 2 HDMI ports, and they're saying that they're both compliant to 2.2 HDCP. So it has the latest software on there in the HDMI control for everything you're going to need, the ARC, the audio, and the content control that's on HDMI. This is a USB port right on there. This is a media reader, I'm sorry. It's a USB 3.0 media reader. That's a USB port. It has a optical output so that you could get 2-channel audio out of this. It's only 2-channel. Then it has an audio out right there where you get 2-channel sound also. This allows you to bypass the internal sound and go to a different set of speakers. Now in my system, I'm going to be using HDMI, and I'm going to be extracting the audio with a Yamaha 4K receiver. So that's all your connections, and that's important to see all those because they're really hard to see those online for some reason right now. So it comes with a nice remote. By the way, I love the white color. The cream color is really nice. And it comes with batteries, and it comes with your power cable as you'd expect. And it comes with this individual calibration report, which is really unique. And this actually has this projector that was tested with the serial number shown right on there. And it shows you that it is matching the color gamut that we talked about for those 8.3 million colored pixels. That's the first projector I've ever heard of that has that performance. And it has a disc that we're going to look at, which is probably a quick start guide, and a printed quick start guide so that you know how to get this up and running quickly. Now, one of the things I mentioned is there's a lot of misinformation on there about the throw and about the amount of control on here. So we're going to try and test all that. I'm going to measure it and try and give you some valid input on that so that you know what you're going to get. Now most people that's not so critical because they're going to set this on a table and the projected image is going to be up from the lens, because it always is on these. The offset starts off at above the lens. But for somebody who's doing a movie theater, it's very important to know where this projects, because you have one location to put your projector. You want to optimize it. You don't want to use keystoning, which is a digital correction for any of the angles of the lens. So it's very important to know that information. So that's why I'm working hard to try and get that information for you so that you know how to set this up in your movie theater in your home. So in order for me to test the offsets, mechanical offsets, and the default offset for 100-inch screen to verify the table, I have a little test setup here where I have the mount. It's being held upside down, and I have a test pattern I'm going to turn on using the remote. And it turns on a test pattern right there. Now I have a calibrated piece of wood right here, and this is for the best average distance that is published, and that's 9 feet 5 inches plus 3/4, and that's the best average. And I also have a calibrated 87-inch piece of wood that I use, and that represents the top of the image for a 100-inch screen. I have the offset control in one direction as far as it'll go, and you could see that this is the lens center, and it looks like the image is approximately 2 inches above the lens center. Now we're going to turn the knob the other direction, see which other direction it goes. So now I turn the offset in the other direction, and it dropped the image down. Now you can see the image from lens center. It's about 2.5 inches. So this is really showing something different that's in the manual, and this is different than what tech support said also. So that's why it's important I do this video. So what this is showing me is that it really goes plus and minus the offset. And in this case, it's about 2.5 inches. So it looks like that 10% of the V is not correct. It's not one direction, so it's plus and minus that. So you take 10% of your vertical distance here, and in this case it's 4.9 inches, and then you're going to get a plus and minus offset of that. It'll go down or it'll go up. That's the lens center right there. So that's important to know. So that's actually more functional that they did it like that. They just haven't updated their tables. But this will go plus and minus. So the key is you center your lens to your screen, the top of your screen, and then you'll be able to have a plus and minus offset that you can work with to adjust it perfectly. One of the things I want to talk about is when you're going to be projecting this from a ceiling and not a table, on the bottom of the unit, there's some things you have to be aware of. There is mounting holes there, and this projector has 3, not 4, and they're right there. And this uses a 4M metric screw, and it's called M4. And it's, I think, 25 millimeters long maximum. And what's a little different, this projector has this little section right here that's lifted up. So when you put your mount on here, you're going to have to use spacers. So we're going to show that. And what's important also is there is a center of gravity right there. I'm going to mark that here. And that's where you want to put your mount. You want to move your legs to get the mount right there. We're going to show that. That's important to have it balanced in that area right there. So I'm going to give you another important dimension that is not mentioned in any of the specifications. They have a line right here. This is the front of the projector. This is the lens right here. And they call that center line of lens. So I marked it with red perma marker, drop that line down over here. And this is marked on the projector as center of gravity. That's where you want to put your mount, your ceiling mount, as best as you can so that it's balanced. So if you look at the distance from the center of gravity to the lens, it is about just a tight, slight amount over 3 inches or 7.8 centimeters. So that's an important dimension to know, so you know where the lens center is with respect to your mount. Now I have a mount right here that I'm going to have links in the description. So here I have my ceiling mount all adjusted, lining up with the holes. The kit came with the proper spacers so I could go above this lip section right here, and I have it marked lens center to the center of this, which is right on the center of balance that was marked on the projector, as close as I could get it. And then the spacers are the same on each one of these to match this one right here. And you adjust these lengths of the arms and the kit will come with the right length. And then you put these screws in to tighten it. And then the ball joint can be adjusted later if it needs to be tightened. But that's it. I can lift it up and it's very stable and it's right at the balance point. You could tell when you move it around. So take your time, do that properly like that for your projector, and it'll be all set. Okay, so I have the BenQ projector all mounted and it's all working. Let me show you the projector and the mount and everything. You can see I've got those safety cables on there, and I have the mount all secured, and I have it lined up using a level, and I've got the room light on right now, and you can still see the image. It's really relatively bright because the room light is on. Now I'm going to show you a tool that I made. I centered the projector screen right there, made a line that I attached this tool to shoot a laser dot to tell me where on the location right there to put the screen center interpolated to the wall. So that's a little trick that I learned, and you could do the same thing with your BenQ projector. So what do I think about this thing? The image is pretty amazing. Let me shut the lights out right here, and let me turn towards close the door here. So right now this is a show I'm streaming. The contrast is really amazing and it's extremely clear. The dark scenes are dark, the bright scenes are bright. So it looks really good. And the menu is very simple to operate on the remote. And the remote lights up when you hit any key. And it's laid out really nice. Very simple to operate. So I'm going to give this BenQ projector a full 5-star rating on my channel. I really like it and it's working really well. The image is amazing. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icons here, alerting you to new video uploads. And if you like this review, please hit the like button. I hope the information I presented helps you with your buying decisions. Thanks for watching.